Jabba is an interesting-looking fellow. That is, if you think a melted purple marshmallow with an internal skeleton is interesting. He's the main research attendant here in the sickbay.
Because just passing through those other rooms, I don't see anything else we can interact with. You're not interested in my fish? No. You're not interested in this?
As cool.
Absolutely not. Can't put my hands on her.
Don't.
Or him. Or that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only.
Ah, come on, Jabba.
I'm sorry.
Alright, let me have a quick look through here and see if I can find anything interesting. Hello. Holojoint program 555121. That's a phone number, isn't it? There's something very funny in there as well about Vulgars enjoy designing outer space strategy simulation games. Makes them nearly as insufferable as university I can't pronounce that word. I should know how to pronounce it, but I can't. But not as well paid. They developed the martial arts technique. That's where I got Vulcans from. The technique is demonstrated in that holojoint program. You know what? Let me test that out. I can't imagine this would work though, because there's another doctor here who would be able to revive him pretty quickly and or report us to security. Not that. This.
Welcome to Hollow Suite Program 5551212, the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. Despite our reputation for being pacifist, we Vulgars have developed an extremely practical martial arts technique used mainly for defensive purposes. It is called the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. This is a tactile oral maneuver in which the applier pinches the bundle of nerve fibers at the base of the neck while whispering into the victim's ear dialogue from either Tango and Cash or Hudson Hawk.
That last part is very important.
This particular combination of nerve stimuli and loss of cerebral control due to the torturous mantra of movie dialogue results in a searing flash of pain and then unconsciousness. In effect, it is similar to a temporary orally induced robotomy. Victims are soon rendered unconscious for several hours. When they awaken, they will remember nothing of how they came to be unconscious, if they are extremely lucky. I shall demonstrate on my most eager volunteer. You will please to pay attention.
It's a shame this doesn't work in the real world.
Address the subject in this manner. Please to notice the location of my hand as I begin the narcotic chant of cinematic morphine.
He mutters something thankfully unintelligible into the ear of the volunteer.
Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe you can fetch me up with your sister. I have told you after her. Oh, we're gonna have margaritas together. Oh, that's what let's get. Oh, we have fun. Oh, get the hubba hubba going in the wee. And then just like that.
So, as you can see, it is very effective. If you can apply a proper grip to the neck, it will disable 9 out of 10 neck-bearing species. This completes our program. Thank you.
I did get points for that, so I assume I can use that at some point in the future.
The floor is total.
Is there any other codes? Just gonna have a quick flick through here to see if I can find any other codes for the holodeck, hollow joints, whatever it's called. Yeah, there's nothing in there. I just need to search through the known races very quickly. I think 3 and 4 are good. Well, actually, no, they're not. I skipped over most of these because I looked at those and thought, yeah, no, they're not the creature in the sickbay. Like, it's not no rat, for example. I'll just make some notes. Okay, so there's that. Let me just open up my notepad on my tablet and write that down. The planets of Fieldbart, a greenish dust ball, greenish? It was purple when I went there, has no small prey to grasp, is brightly lit throughout its day-night cycle, features deposits of naturally occurring pulpy food which must be gummed extensively before being swallowed. Okay. That to me suggests that that might keep someone's mouth shut for a little while. They will also eat the young shoots of the wandering atheist. What the hell is that? It's something I can replicate, so just writing that down. Wandering atheist. The bowling alley combo. French fries, burgers, hot dogs, and beer. Sounds delicious. These creatures are native to the planet Omega... Not sure how to pronounce that. Big deal? Big deal? Going with that. Distinction of having its entire civilization flunk phonics. Centuries of Saka, yeah, whatever. It eats dust mites. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the replicator, clearly, and replicate all of these things. And maybe I can use these objects on various things around the ship. Maybe they'll come in handy in the transport bay. Coronians are vegans and prefer the local flora. I don't remember doing anything with the local flora on Corona. Although we could pick up a plant, it didn't have any use, did it? Oh, I'm struggling to remember now. I could pick up a plant on Corona, but it wasn't necessary to use that to take out the droid or anything like that. I think I might have tried eating it and it may have killed me. It frequently accidentally kills other creatures because up close they all look like tree trunks. Come on. Their favourite food is clinging girlfriend Ivy. Oh. I don't like the sounds of that. You could just say clinging Ivy game. You don't have to put the word girlfriend in there. That's just weird. Oh, hello. Its preferred diet is composed mainly of the roots of the Starshock bush. No idea what that could be. The only time we saw it in Space Quest 2 was when it turned itself into a tornado and killed us. The beast enjoys figuring... Oh, look at that. The beast enjoys figuring out small puzzles and will often stop in the middle of a hunt to solve a matchstick puzzle, logic problem, or riddle. Or a frigging Rubik's Cube. The beast hates arcade. That's good. That's good. That's really, really good. This game's got me now. Latex babes, there was nothing here, I think. Actually, there was a code here. There were 2 codes. Writing all this down. Most recognizable for its powerful prehensile tail. Strong enough to fling mud. Boulder Beaver can use his tail to bench about 340 pounds for 3 sets of 15 reps without even stopping for a fruit-flavoured sports beverage. Very nice. It can create a dam out of boulders or any other material, including molten steel, lava, and stellar core fragments. Prefers to eat the sweet, spicy leaves of the creepy Habayano eucalyptus vine. That seems useful. That seems like an error. It's just about the ugliest sucker on Ernon. I thought Ernon was the galaxy. Xenon is the world, Ernon was the galaxy. That seems like a continuity error. Anything in here? What was that about liberal media? It would not hold up for more than 5 minutes under the scrutiny of the liberal media. Favorite food is the latex babe of Estros. Okay. So. Right now, I've learned nothing. I need to get out of here and go somewhere else. Let's go to 8 rear and see if we can replicate some stuff. We've picked up the Vulcan nerve grip, or whatever it's called. I totally said Vulcan there, and it's totally fine. Got some more people in the bar. Lounge, whatever.
This poor slob is trying to impress the two women he's sitting near by showing them how much he can drink. Yeah, that's always a sure way to impress the babes.
Absolutely. Never fails.
A couple of female crew members, neither of which have ever given you the time of star day, are sitting and gabbing away, completely ignoring the poor slob who sat down to introduce himself. Don't worry, that would never happen to you.
Game's being a bit too real at the moment. Okay, let me plug in some of these codes. I'm pretty sure I've written that down correctly. Alright, what am I missing here? It says to pick the favorite Mrs. Soylent selection, so maybe this doesn't work. Maybe these codes only work on quote-unquote unlocked replicators.
It sure doesn't feel punctured. It sure doesn't feel punctured.
I don't get that. Do any of these codes work? So gummy food, wandering atheist, bowling alley combo don't work. What about dust mites? None of these are working. Corona plants.
It sure.
Clinging girlfriend Ivy. Starshock bush.
It sure.
Right, those are the codes of the latex babes. Eucalyptus vine.
It sure.
None of the codes work. Can I look at that?
This is. You can't detach that without a Zyquest torque phase shifter. And who'd want to anyway? This is a. This is. You can't detach that.
So I can look at that, but that gives me the generic phrase for the entire area. But I can use my hand on it and it says I can't attach it. I was hoping I could look up there to see if there were numbers on there, perhaps. Okay, I'm not quite at a loss here. Let's go back to the sickbay and see if we can knock someone out. We've learned a technique for knocking someone unconscious. My initial thought with looking through that thing through the replicated codes was to try and find something for this race. But unless I actually want to read all that stuff, I don't think I'm going to find it. He's got 2 giant grasshopper legs and a torso.
Don't touch that. Your words cause everything to become. Your words. Don't touch that. Don't.
And a skill that I've picked up, I assume is something that's going to come in handy later in the game, where I'll just need to talk to someone and it will use itself automatically. Like I just tried right there. It's not showing up in inventory. Alright, I need to give this some thought. Roger's quarters, maybe. What numbers don't we have on the replicator? Because this one's not branded as Mr. Sorlins, but somehow I don't think that's going to help.
Don't try to get anything out of it. Don't try to. Don't.
What about the one in the brig? I can't imagine that would do anything useful. What else we got? We got the bridge, the brig with the replicator. We were just there. The Holocabana, I think we've done everything we can there. We've used that code and we've got the Vulcan Death Grip or whatever it is. The shuttle bay entrance appears to be a bust with those two guards there and the donuts. Don't know what to do at the sick bay, and the transporter also looks like a dead end. Just try one of these. Dust mites.
It should. You shouldn't try to open this door by tugging on it. You'll strip the gears, just like you did to the replicator in your quarters. The access panels are all tightly sealed to keep people who don't know what they're doing away from the controls. Yes, people like you.
Red text again. Really means business down here.
The access... Yes. Yes.
I refuse to believe I wrote down about 12 different wrong codes, so there's got to be something more to this.
This is the screen used to display the numbers as you enter them. This is the replicator hatch, a sliding door behind which is hidden the vortex resonance coils and the molecular soylentization generator.
The fact that nothing is happening when I hit enter, apart from it lights up and then immediately goes out, that is concerning me. That's making me think that I'm missing something here.
The access... Yes. It sure doesn't feel punctured.
I don't get that punctured line. I really don't.
You stick a finger into the vent and feel a cool, gentle draft. Not unlike the one that seems to drift from your ears.
It doesn't seem safe to stick your fingers through those holes. Just quietly.
This is a standard trans-warp class starship food replicator, where the Starcon elite meet to eat. It's a hover. You summon the...
Alright. Let me have a quick look through the manual and see if there's anything there that I'm missing perhaps. Okay, I've looked through the manual. I don't see anything in there that can help me at this time. And just on a whim, I was looking down here, used my hands on that, and bam, the shaver is gone.
Yuck! It's the hair you pulled from Nigel's personal grooming assistant.
I got 5 points for that, but somehow I don't think that's going to help me at this time because I'm not sure what to do. We definitely just can't go to the sick bay and use that because that dude is going to stop us. Unless maybe I can just give it to him as hair instead of a shaver.
Boy, wouldn't it be... That...
It would.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. I'm sorry.
Starcon regulation. How do we break that regulation then? Can someone on the bridge help me? The science officer, maybe? Alright, who is this dude?
He's the ship's engineer.
Because he left the last time I came in here. Comms?
That's the...
Science.
It probably seemed like a good idea to you at one time.
Okay, the science officer is leaving today. Or he's moving around.
That's an... Excellent... That's an... It would appear that...
Janitor Wilco, you must have something to clean up somewhere.
Your words call... Occupado. Don't mess with the communications post until you've learned basic punctuation. What are you going to do? Play more dull combat? What are you going to do?
Not a fan of that one. What do I do?
This button turns this button.
Every time.
Oh, great. The data quarter seems to be fried.
Okay, if it's fried, then we can... Wow. It's fucked. If it's fried, I can grab that and do something with it, perhaps.
You. It's a piece of divalium crystal.
I did see that word mentioned somewhere, but I can't remember where. Yeah, the periodic table isn't a manual, I just saw that. Enter the number. They're available in the pocket seat in front of you. You don't have that. It's just a joke. It just says enter the number. So why aren't those numbers working? We don't have a data cast. That is definitely the only hollow whatchamacallits that I've seen in here. I'm confident that I've done that correctly. I mean, it talks about it here. This has got to be something. I've got to be missing something, surely. Replicator, blah blah. And yet, if I go to a replicator, it doesn't appear to work. Where am I going?
A friendly Mr. Soylent food replicator stands in wait to serve anyone who wants a snack. Technically, these aren't replicators. They're wormholes into the restaurant universe. But the food still tastes replicated because the chefs in the restaurant universe are mostly ex-Monolith Burger employees and know nothing about food.
Hey, that's us.
It's...
There's got to be something about this machine's operation that I'm missing. Either that or only one or two of the codes actually work. Alright, let me give this some thought. Okay, I missed this. Space monkeys. There are two other codes in here. Space food sticks. 6834468. I've also been checking the other codes just to make sure I didn't get any typos there. And the other one is Tangy Pecans? Is that pecans? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that word, and I'm not looking it up. Something about bananas. Anything else in here? There was nothing in Serians other than they enjoy fine wine. Spiny alien fangs. And Vulgars, we got that little thing out of there.
It would...
Alright, let me just try the other two codes very quickly. Nothing. Okay, what about bananas?
It sure...
I don't get it. What am I missing? Why doesn't the replicator work? Does it only work on a very specific replicator, perhaps? Alright, I'll keep fiddling around. This looks suspicious. It really does.
You give it a tap, but nothing happens.
Why can we tap that?
It probably seems...
If this is a StarCon regulation that is preventing us from scanning this, then we either need to distract him or we need to circumvent the StarCon regulation. One of the two. And right now, I just don't see how.
You flick the force field. You flick the force field. Now there's a real...
Nasty.
Game over, man. Game over.
You have to
Being
do it
a good
twice.
Samaritan is one thing, but you should have been just a little skeptical about that move.
It does work, you just have to do it twice. Alright, we can let the alien out, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. What about if I just sit in here and think for a while? Okay, so I've written down those two numbers there. I'm certain these aren't going to do anything here, but I do wonder if they're going to work in the hollow whatchamacallit. Six, 5, 7, yep. I tried this one earlier, it didn't work. What about if I try some of these numbers on the hollow thingamajig? It says they're all replicating numbers, but you know what? At this point, I don't know what to believe. Alright, so those are the two cell codes. Let me run through all these other codes, and I'll cut back in. Alright, confirming. None of those replicator codes are secretly holodeck, holojoints, holocabana codes in disguise. I have had a thought, however. I'd like to go back to the sickbay. Can I use the vulgar death pinch, whatever it's called, against Stella? Heck, is there something I can do to distract this guy to look at Stella?
Don't pick at your utterance. Your... That wouldn't... It wouldn't be... Stella is getting treatment for her back injury. Apparently, Stella is getting treatment. It's a medibunk.
How do I distract this
It's a case
dude?
of something you don't care about.
I've been through the database multiple times. I have read it, and I don't know what race he is. He's got grasshopper legs. You want to be interested in this fish, would you?
It would appear that merging those two items is not a good idea.
No.
Excellent.
Is there anything I can interest you in?
It probably... As cool... As cool.
There's got to be a solution here. I don't want to look at the walkthrough yet. I just don't.
That wouldn't prove. It's soft. Yeah, it's soft.
Can I lay down in one of the medibunks?
It's soft. That wouldn't. Don't touch that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only. Obviously, you don't fit that description. I'm afraid I can't allow you to use it.
Ah, come on, Jebba. Be a pal. Who'll know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. It's a StarCon regulation.
Jeez, Jebba. Who's gonna know? Let me try this one thing. I'll be out of your way. No one will find out.
What?
I don't know, Mr. Wilco. I'm not one to break regulations. I really don't think it's a good idea.
I swear, it'll only take a minute. We're out in the middle of nowhere. No one will find out. And I'll tell you what. Anytime you want it, one free plunge job, day or night. What do you say?
Well, I don't know.
It'll only take a minute or two, really. Come on, Jebba, be a pal.
Get out of here.
Well, okay.
Get the
but
fuck
just
out of
this
here.
once. If anyone finds out I'm sunk, then I'll come looking for you to take it out on. Keep that in mind.
Why did that work?
No problem. I'll be done in a flash.
I really don't know why I'm doing this.
That's kind of how I feel at the moment. Did that only work because I spoke to him immediately after using the scanner? That's crazy if so.
You get a jump on. You start. You're.
Yeah, look at that. I'm talking to him
You.
and nothing's
you get-
happening. It's acting
you-
like a
you're-
non-interactable object. I tried using specifically the shaver here.
I'm. s-
Ah,
I'm.
You.
geez.
Jesus.
Hey, don't.
I could have sworn I tried that. Bloody hell. Flux modulator. Alright, let's put that there.
It's your standard DNA sequencer. You are visually unimpressed.
Looking at Stella's feet there. Imprints, DNA cards. Oh wow, those graphics.
Not much going on there, eh?
I can't tell if that's zoomed in or hand-drawn, but if so, that's very impressive.
You look at it, but nothing strikes your fancy. It's your standard. What can be said? It's your. Not. What can be. Not.
Alright, let's hit scan. It's like it's frigging alive.
That's del.
Okay, what now?
You summon the ability. That's.
Can I pick it up at least? Can I talk to you about what I just did?
You got what you wanted. I'm really quite busy and need to get my work done now. Goodbye, Mr. Wilco.
Alright, I know what to do with that. Jesus, all we had to do was talk to him. I tried
Neat.
that though.
I've always wanted to try one of these on the compost.
Takes me straight there. Nigel Rancid. Yeah, we already knew his name. Well, we knew his first name at least.
Oh, hi, Stellar. I hope your back's feeling better.
She's up.
They just finished treating me, and it is starting to feel better. However, I was told to lay off rescuing people for a while, especially you. So, did you have any luck?
I got some information from the sample I ran through the DNA sequencer. When I tried it, all I got was a name. All it said after that was that the file is closed. I wonder why that is.
I don't know for sure, Roger, but it seems a bit suspicious. When a file is marked like that, there's usually a very good reason. Most frequently, it indicates the file is closed for intelligence purposes, or it's legally sealed by some judicial body.
Or someone very high up has done it.
In the case of those tubs of guts that grabbed you, I'd have to say it's not a government agency directly behind it.
Starcon.
Sounds more like someone with access from the outside to a friend or two inside. A more paranoid person might say this smells way wrong.
Yep.
Then again, when did you last change your socks?
If the files are sealed, then we have nothing to go on.
True. The only thing I can think of is that they may be accessible by jacking into cyberspace. I've never done it, but I know it can be done.
So I guess this means you won't be trying it first. I'd love to try it, but I can't since we don't know how.
Well, actually, I read it can be done with the help of a cyber jack and headset and a cyberspace jack interface module. The article said there are several things to access out there and that there's a vast library of files to browse. It said that the Information Superhighway project is a little behind schedule, but that there are some operative areas. Other than that, I don't have a clue as to how we can gain any information about them.
So you think this cyberspace thing could work?
Well, I can only tell you what I've read. Navigating it takes a little patience, but I think it's the only option you have. I don't know if you'll locate a cyberjack and headset. Because of the delays in the project, they've become more like collector's items than marketable, functionable products.
We do have cyberjack modules built into the compost.
It's currently switched off.
That's true. Of course, we won't know anyway without the jack.
That bites. I wonder where we could find one of those.
I wish I knew, Roger. There must be some place.
Attention! We are now orbiting the Delta Burksilon V colony as requested by StarCon. Most of you know your assignments as they have been broadcast to your composts. Please represent StarCon properly. Kilbasa, out.
You better get moving since you don't know yet what your assignment is. I have some checking around to do. We'll talk later.
Thanks, Stellar. I'll see you soon. Maybe we can work in that dinner.
Think of Beatrice, Roger. She would be upset. So we saw the intro. Clearly the file was closed by Sharpay, or someone connected to her. Alright, what is our assignment? And why do we teleport here?
The pocket.
There's nothing I can use here. I've explored this place thoroughly. I'm not exploring it again.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular. I wonder what it is.
Wilco, Commander Kilbasa here. I have a special assignment for you. A crew person of special skills is required on Delta Burksilon V. In the spirit of StarCon cooperation, we have decided to offer them your assistance. Transport there immediately. Kilbasa out.
That's a kill, Ruffy, clearly. So they failed at kidnapping us the first time, they're now going to try a second time. They must have just asked for a janitor. Alright, let's go to the transporter. But that's what I was thinking, just as we were leaving the sickbay, we could transport down to this colony perhaps.
Okay, I'm ready. Energize.
No subtitles.
Commander Kielbasa and that other guy look like they're just finishing up a conversation.
Janitor Wilco, Dr. Bellows and I were just talking about you. Please report to Sharpay's quarters, Janitor Wilco. She is in need of someone with your special skill set. Be quick about it.
Yes, sir.
We're dead. This music. Forgotten what the colony name is? Laboratory A.
Janitor, I believe you were given specific orders. Carry them out immediately.
Oh, well, sorry. I'll get right on it, sir.
I just need to see if we can get fired.
Wilco, if you don't follow my orders immediately, I'll bust you down to... Oh, I forgot. You're already as low as you can get. Trust me, I'll make your life more miserable than it already is. Now move it.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
One more time.
Wilco, if you...
One more for good measure.
Wilco.
Yes.
Alright, let's load, because I don't want to be admonished. Where are we?
The Ascendo pad works much like an elevator. In fact, if you can figure out why we didn't just call it an elevator, please let us know.
It's a very fancy elevator. Can I go left here?
This hatch is closed, but it opens automatically when the Ascendo pad is on the docking bay level, and there's a vehicle in the bay.
Got it.
This portal is open, allowing you to pass through the shaft into one of the rooms. You are standing on the Ascendo pad, a platform that moves up and down inside a shaft that connects with all the possible floors in this underground building.
We are underground. Good context.
This display shows you the Ascendo pad's current location.
Right, we are at Lab A. I'm not exactly sure where Sharp A is located.
You press the Lab B button, but the Ascendo pad doesn't move. Apparently you need some sort of clearance to get to Lab B.
So it won't open. I didn't want to go to Lab B anyway.
You're not going to tell me where you want to go, Roger? Fancy. Right, that door is still sealed. Let's go right to the quarters.
Janitor second class, Roger Wilco, reporting as ordered, ma'am.
Wilco, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Wilco, I expected you here some time ago. I've been kept waiting for minutes now.
I'm very sorry, Matt.
Save the pathetic whimperings for your StarCon superiors, which I would expect includes everyone and everything on the food chain over there.
Ma'am, I came as...
Young man, I lack the time, and most importantly, the patience to indulge you as you whine your way from one excuse to the next. May we please just begin?
Sorry, but I wasn't briefed on what tasks would be required of me.
You are a janitor, Mr. Wilco. What do you think I want from you, a heart transplant? What has become of StarCon? When my fifth husband, Admiral Bluntfang, served, the crop of up-and-coming cadets seemed to have such promise. I recall this one rather striking cadet who... Oh, well, never mind that. But you... I pray you do not typify what might be slithering down the halls of our formerly prestigious academy. That is one thing I do not look forward to witnessing. Get to work, Mr. Wilco. You'll find a mop and a bucket right over there. I have no time to devote to your education. That would take a lifetime, and the most copious amount of patience a universe could muster. My life is soon to expire. Please, just clean. I must rest now.
I'm very confused. This doesn't look like the lady from the intro. It just doesn't. And if she sent 2 goons to come after us, why would she not use her connections in StarCon to summon us here immediately? Maybe she's not the lady from the intro.
The wrinkled one rests quietly in her crapomatic adjustable bed.
Oh, no. I did not approve.
This is the personal medical suite of the legendary Sharpay. She spends her advancing days here at the ever-expanding retirement complex on Delta Burksilon V.
That's right, it's a retirement house.
Ah, the door which allowed you into this room. A vent for careful climatic control takes up a significant portion of this wall segment. This is the emergency light that helps you find the toilet in case you find out that something really bad is about to happen, even when the ship's main power is down. Some people have security blankets. For you, it's the bathroom. I guess even the ill-rich must have some extravagances. Where's the cyber poodle? Oh, well, they're making them too well now anyway. You just can't seem to kick them hard enough.
Narrator, that's awful.
Mr. Wilco, I asked you to mop the floors. Do I have to get Commander Kilbasa in here to get you to do your job?
No, ma'am. I'll get right on it, ma'am.
I'm looking around. This is far more important.
Things are stored in there, probably. It's incredibly common. It's a cabinet containing old Sharpay's drugs. A clean towel dutifully hangs, awaiting its next use. A porcelainite throne serves as the centerpiece of the bathroom. Through the passage of time, some personal habits haven't changed with humanoids of Earth heritage. Although no one knows the true origin, people have been hanging rolls of flimsy paper called Aswipe next to their extruded item disposal unit. Since no one is certain of its actual use, it is a mere cultural decoration in most circles. That's a joke can. The old-timers use it to fake the new interns into thinking they have sucking chest wounds. It's a real hoot. These are supplies of a medical nature for the cratered one. It's some kind of red medical type thing. It's some sort of medical unit. You don't know what it is. After all, you're a janitor, not a doctor, damn it. This is a circuit analysis diagnostics unit.
There sure are some cool-looking machines here. That one has neat blue lights.
It does.
It's a red panel in the foreground. You really don't know what it does, nor do you care.
I'm surprised how much detail there is here. Oh,
No,
shit.
ma'am. I'll get right on it, ma'am.
Let me put that in post.
Mr. Wilco.
No, ma'am. I'll get right on it,
It's the same
ma'am.
thing. Yeah, as I was saying before I accidentally clicked through that, I'm surprised by how much detail there is here. Just on all the various objects and how much narration is actually being done here. I'm very impressed.
Cool, another machine that lights up and goes ping! You look at it, but nothing strikes your fancy.
Ah, that reference there. Love it.
This is a... Yes, you've seen the hollow ads, you've seen the infomercials. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, the Crapmatic adjustable bed. Yes, there's no mistaking it. The programmable mattress shapes to at least 5 different skeletal types, as well as 2 non-skeletal modes. The Crapmatic harnesses the latest in time-proven, very versatile and patented Hydro-Riser technology. Don't be the last one in your colony to own the most capital-conscious therapeutic stationary device known to being kind, and at a price you'll find stunning. Some exoskeletal types not supported, not available in all quadrants. Please allow 2 to 3 light years for delivery.
Using that term of measurement wrong.
No, ma'am.
I'll get on it shortly. I've almost finished looking around. There's just so much crap in here.
It's some scanner-looking thing above the bed. Yes, you don't...
Also, that's totally just a hospital bed. It's nothing. An IV?
It looks like a vein juicer.
Or that. That's a great noun, actually.
This is apparently her dresser. With glaciated facial terrain like that, the escort services must rake it in.
Ugh. No comments.
It looks like a heart monitor. It must be amazingly sensitive since this crusty old beast appears rather heartless.
Wow. Holy shit.
Ah, one of the much heralded just say no to death devices designed to make you at least feel perky and more upbeat about the big D. Instead of the nervous-making blips and occasional flatline, depending on what kind of night the old doc had, these machines seem to help make the whole death thing less of a downer. With these machines, the survivors can leave the room humming a final but not so downbeat ending theme, or replay in their minds the pleasant electronic wither of the monitor when the heart makes that final squeeze, instead of some real downer thing like last words or something inconsiderately spewed at that last moment by the soon-to-be declared deceased.
That's
ma'am.
not how scroll bars or multiple subtitles work, game. So much stuff in here.
There seems to be a few redundant systems monitors here. A more alert person would be led to believe that someone has accounted for the possible arrival of different types of humanoids in this otherwise personal facility. You as a janitor would only have a clue as to what was contained in those bottles if the content showing through them resembled some sort of waste product or cleaning supply.
That's interesting. I would have thought that we would only be able to identify them if we looked at the label. But Roger is apparently intelligent enough to be able to identify stuff without labels.
You as a contaminated waste items receptacle stands awaiting contaminated waste items. Ah, a bucket. One of the staples of any janitor's arsenal.
Alright, let's clean this room.
You've seen plenty of these babies in your lifetime.
Let's do it, Roger. I've put
No,
it
ma'am.
off long enough. Is she going to fall asleep?
Mr. Wilco, please rattle the handle on that commode. It is positively maddening.
You got it, right away, ma'am. Whatever I can do.
Why would you say that?
Please do it. And quietly. I must have my rest.
Also, this is a trap.
Mr. Wilco, it is time for me to take my meds. Please fetch my trisonic sortium from the medicine cabinet.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe I can get this old hag to overdose.
Ooh.
What was that, janitor?
Nothing, ma'am. I'll get those for you right away.
She communicated something under her bedsheet.
The wrinkled one.
Just looking at those lights there and wondering if that's something I can interact with. Get the meds, okay.
That's
I can't find her medicine. I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Hey, what the?
While we await a fully formed thought from Roger, it should be mentioned that there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent.
Hey, there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent.
Cute.
I seem to be in a world of deep... Ah, jeez, the door!
The door's locked.
You realize your strength alone will be no match for the mechanized door.
Rats, it won't budge. I've got to get out of here somehow. No windows, and the walls are solid bulkhead. And I'm too big to flush myself out of here.
Oh, why did it give me control back?
You pinch.
Rats, it won't budge. I've got to get out of here somehow. No windows, and the walls are solid bulkhead. And I'm too big to flush myself out of here. This is the only way. What would MacGyver do now?
It hurts your eyes to look at that. She seems to be resting rather peacefully.
I imagine this is timed.
As fulfilling as a conversation with Sharpay might be, you can't talk to her in her current state. You pinch yourself. Don't pinch. That's That would... It feels... That's not going to help. Move it, man. That's not going...
Now, I know she's got a remote under there, but Roger doesn't know that.
That's not going...
Well, so is she actually dead?
She seems to be... It wouldn't... You some... It feels... Don't touch that. You some... Like you need another one of these. Don't touch that. You look at it, but...
Can't imagine any of these items being particularly helpful. Okay, that's it. We're dead.
And you thought the fumes from lactose intolerance were bad.
Alright, so if I click try again... We start from the moment that the gas starts flooding the place.
That's a joke. It feels... Don't use that...
So my
Don't
thought is
pick
there's
it.
probably
That's
something I
not-
can interact with
You
here, but
some-
I don't see what yet.
It would... That's... Despite your proclivity for screwing with things you should not, you decide to pass this time.
Proclivity, lovely word.
It's a little high up on the wall for what you have in mind.
What is it?
There's a small hole in the wall here. Perhaps it's for the central vacuum system. How you've longed for StarCon to upgrade to that kind of system. This is the personal medical... That would... It's a little hot. That's an...
Got a very limited
It
amount
would
of time
appear
to
that
work with
merging
here.
those two- That wouldn't... It would... Don't... It feel... It would...
I don't think we can do anything in the bathroom.
That would... You some... That's... Don't...
Rats, it won't budge.
We can't use those buttons?
Rats, it won't...
You realize your strength... Yeah, you just can't get enough of that mopping action.
I was thinking maybe we could grab the mop, shove the handle in the elevator and open it
Don't
like
touch
that.
Be polite. That would... Be polite. You should only do that if Sharpay asks you to. That would... Be polite. You don't need... It feels slightly... It feels... Don't touch... That would... Don't... And you thought the fumes from lactose
Right.
intolerant... That's Don't... You give the piston a yank, and sure enough, it comes loose in your hands. Perhaps it was your raw strength. More than likely, it was defective.
What do we get out of that?
It's the Crap-O-Matic adjustable piston.
Can I use that to force the elevator, perhaps? Or the door? There we go.
Good thinking! Wedged in the door, the manual override control causes the piston to strain against the door. It pushes a few inches and seems to strain at that point.
Stop looking at it and go through. Stella?
Wilco!
Oh, hi, Stellar. What are you doing here?
Now's not the time.
There's no time to talk, Roger. We've got to get out of here now. 1, 2, 3.
Were you there to
Just
rescue
as you
me?
crash to the floor of the turbo shaft, the hydro riser piston gives way, and the door slams shut, with Stellar still trapped inside.
Was she actually there to rescue me? Or to kill me? Or to ensure that I was dead?
You claw and pull at the seams of the bulkhead door, but to no avail. Just then, you hear and feel an explosion, which seems to have come from behind the door.
Oh dear.
The door is sealed tight. You can hear no other noise after the ear ringing from the blast subsides.
My God, I can't believe this. It can't be happening. She was... I was... Stellar!
Sharpay really wanted us dead. I do wonder if that was her though. It didn't look like the lady from the intro. Oh shit.
It's hard to believe that this is the Hollow Suite. The setting is much like the graphics you've scanned in the library from those planets more interesting in their climatic diversity. From the scenic jutting peaks, soft hills, and lake in the conjured distance to the lush pixelized growth of trees, flowers, and grass in the foreground, the holodeck has that sublime park-like perfection. Unfortunately, its serene beauty is sadly negated by the headstones and the solemn event about to occur, the laying to rest of your rescuer and true friend, Stellar Santiago. You are feeling as you have never felt before, perhaps helped along by the relatively short stints aboard the various ships, as well as all too brief friendships. You've been spared the emotional devastation of true loss by lack of attachment. This, however, is a different feeling, far different from anything you've ever experienced. You can't help but wonder how you'd act towards Stellar given a second chance, but you know that can never happen. She gave her life for you, and you will never be able to thank her. Enough smarm already. Let's funeral.
Jesus.
Ladies and/or gentlemen, we assemble here today to honor the memory of a former crewmate, Lieutenant First Class Stellar Santiago. Her unfortunate death takes place in the shadow of a new community, the dawning of a new life for the aged of our galaxy. Although death is never easy to accept, we must remember that the tragic accident which took her from our midst occurred while she was on duty. If a member of StarCon must perish for some reason, there is no more honorable way. It is part of the oath we recite and take to heart when we pledge our allegiance. I believe her friend, Janitor Second Class Roger Wilco, has a few words he'd like to say. Mr. Wilco?
Sorry about friend zoning you. We're carrying a eulogy. What does it say?
I only knew Stellar for a short time. I wish I, could have gotten to know her much better. To have had a deeper understanding of this, person. I was proud to have called friend. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my cleaning, hers were the most scuff-resistant.
Grim. That shovel. I don't get how that works, why they were being pulled in there, because we're in the Hollow Cabana. Doesn't make sense. For a moment, I wondered if we got a bad ending. And I'm not even joking. Is that thing decayed?
Let's look at it together and see what...
I don't recall it looking like that before. Might be losing my mind though. Okay, so... I don't recall seeing the X on the icon either. The fish is rotting. Alright. that happened. Commander, what do you have to say about the entire situation? And also, is it possible for me to go up to that other floor? We had Lab B, Lab A, the quarters, and something else.
Janitor Wilco, you...
Nothing. Okay. Bella died. She dead. Where is it? Oh, I've got to go all the way back. Let me get back there. I'll be a minute.
Your work.
Alright, we're back here. I can go to the docking bay. That might be important, so let me try that before we get Stella killed. Okay, going left. Now we're going right. There's nowhere to the left. Wait.
This hatch is closed, but it opens automatically when the ascender pad is on the docking bay level.
Oh.
And there's a vehicle in the bay.
So there's no vehicle there, that's why we can't exit, and that leads nowhere.
The portal is closed.
Okay, so I believe that's all I can do here. We just go to the quarters. Sharpay tries to kill us, and we get out. You've got nothing to say about the events here, dude. Also, that fish. Am I going mad with that fish? Wait, what?
All fleas, abandon ship. All fleas, abandon ship.
We're talking to the chair.
All fleas, abandon ship.
Was I imagining that with the fish? No, I wasn't. Look at that.
Pretty cool looking, huh?
That fish is in good condition. We go down to the colony. It still looks in good condition. We get back from the colony, and it's fucked. I wasn't imagining that. I'm not losing my mind.
This...
Alright. What do I do with my life now? Let's go back to Roger's quarters and see if we get something, but it sounds like the next major objective will be to get into cyberspace.